Hello and welcome to our supply and demand 2.0. The previous one which we did is called supply and demand 1.0, which is basically the introduction where we have defined supply and demand theoretical part, and we talk a little bit of price, and there I have talk about giving some illustration of how supply and demand should work. But in this video I'm going to be more detailed. I'm going to detail on how uh, the introduction was. So what you are seeing on your screen, this line chart, like I said before, represent our candlestick. So this is what I mean when I say candlesticks. These are what I mean, which obviously I have talked about candlestick in one of the videos from our previous episode. So the line chart represent this candlestick, which is more easier to work with line chart in giving example. But when we go into real market, we are heavily going to use the candlesticks. So this is what I mean when I say the line chart. It represents these candlesticks. So let's go around and see. And then what you are seeing here is the demand and supply candles. We basically have about 4 of them. Yes, we have 4 of them: the pin bar, the tweezers, the engulfing candles. Let me give you the pictures. Oh yeah, 3 of them. So right here, these are the bullish candles, which represent supply and demand level, but this one represent demand level, and this one represents supply level. So I think we have used this one in this example. You can see it from there. Engulfing candle, it is an engulfing, we call it the demand candlestick pattern. It is an engulfing candle, which most of the time it will happen like this when market is going up, something like this. Now let's say this is what you'll be expecting to see in the market. So whenever the market comes back down here, that's when you'll be looking to buy. Why? Because it's coming down to retest our demand level. And here from previous I said, when you see this zone or this zigzag up and down represent our demand zone. So this is what I mean. This zigzag right here represent the candlestick, and then this box represent our demand zone. Yeah, so this is one of the candles we use in identifying our demand level or demand zone. And here, let's go to the second one, another example. So this pin bar which I showed you from the picture, this is it, which is bearish move or signifying the market is going down, and that means it is our supply level. So you will draw your box like this, which means, oh, this is my what? Supply level. This is my supply zone. So this candlestick, this pin bar represent our supply level, which you will see it like this. Most of the time it happens there, it's going up. Then what will happen? It will come down, then went back up to test that what? Supply level, and then boom, the market will just drop. So basically that's what I mean when you see this zigzag. It means it represents this candle, it represents our supply zone, and here it represents our demand zone. We would see, I will give more detailed example. Like I said, this video is going to be more detailed, but I just drew this candle so that you will get the concept of what I mean by the zigzag and the zone and the line chart. So using the candlestick in their actual form will make more sense. So now from here on, I will use the line chart and the zigzag zone, so that it will be more easier and it is more flexible for me to explain. But when we go into the real market, that's where we identify a lot of candles, those 3 candles from different zones, which will represent our supply and demand level, and explain a lot of it. But right now, this supply and demand video is basically the illustration, but more detailed, which I call supply and demand 2.0. So let me go ahead and delete all these example or all these illustration. Let me delete them all. Let me kind of take this one and save it. So let me go and delete all this one and start with more examples. Okay, let's add our topic or title. Yes. So right now on this, which I'm going to start with demand or supply. Okay, let's go ahead and start with demand. Remember, this line chart represent my what? My candlesticks. So I know you get that. Yeah. So let's assume the market is what? In a bearish move, is going down. The value of that crypto you have buy is dropping down. So the novice trader will start panicking. Wow, this thing is really going down. Maybe it's not really going down. Maybe the market is what? Is trying to come down and find what? Level of demand. You know, maybe it's trying to find another level of fresh demand level. So when it comes to that level, let's assume previously the market was like going up, and then suddenly it starts coming down. You know, you start panicking. What's going on in the market? So this is what is going to happen. It's probably going to what? Create create a demand zone, which is obviously good. You know, let me use this black to represent my demand and whatsoever. So you see, it obviously going to what? Create a demand level. Then boom, it create what? One of our patterns, which let's say an engulfing candle. You know, engulfing candles means the front one should be higher or larger, you know, or taller than the previous one. You can see this one is taller than the previous one, which means engulfing candle. From the images you can see, you see this one, the bullish candle is taller than the previous candle, the red candle. And you can see here the red candle, which is the front candle, is taller than the previous candle. And when we talk of tweezers, it means they have the same height, you know, the same height, the same body, the same weight, the same height. You know, they have the same tall, the same height, and as you can see here. Basically, it's just the color change, it interchange. At supply level, it changes this. At demand level, it changes this. And you can see pin bar. At demand level is green. At supply level is what? It's red. So you can see it easy to memorize the candles. So these are what we are mostly going to use in the market. So boom, the market was previously going up, then it started coming down. Why? Because the market is trying to form a demand level again. Because the market will never go up like forever going up. No, sometimes it has to drop, you know, to flush out the novice trader who doesn't know what they are doing. They will start panicking. So when this move start making, the market will try to create what? A new demand level. So that's when we will see what? This. Then at the moment we see this kind of thing, we knew the market is what? Is going to what? Create what? A demand level. Then now we say good. Now we should wait for what? For the market to go up again. You know, when it did this, then we should wait for what? A retest. A retest of this level. The moment it comes to this level, then boom, we buy. Then it will go up with us. So this is demand zone. This is what? Demand zone. Demand zone. We call it demand zone because we have one of our patterns. We call it the engulfing candle pattern. Engulfing candle pattern. You should know it can be one of those three candles. It can be a pin bar, it can be a tweezers. So if it is a tweezer, let's like say this way. Let me adjust this. Like I said, they will have the same what? Height. You see, you have what? Demand zone. Now you have a demand zone. It can be a pin bar. It can be a pin bar. Trust me, it can be a pin bar. Then we say what? Let's move the body up, and then what? put this. It can be a pin bar. You see, this is what I'm talking about. It can be a pin bar. It doesn't matter. One of those three candles, the moment you see them, boom, that is your what? Your demand level. That is your demand level. I hope you understand this example, a more detailed example of demand level. So now let's talk about supply level or supply zone. How does it work too? You know, after this video, we are going into the real market to really go and identify demand level, actual demand level that is or was created by the market. So now let's say the market is what? Going what? Down. Sorry, let me go back there to have a more space. Let's say the market is going down. The market is what? Going down. You know, the market is going down. You are waiting for what? For an opportunity. If you are going to sell, but mostly you should know, in crypto we are only looking for buys. But some people normally trade. If they are going to trade crypto, you can look for supply opportunities. But most important for me, I always look for demand level on cryptos. I'll wait for the market to create a demand, then I'll buy. That's what I do. Buy and hold. You know, buy and hold. You know, you can't find a sell. It won't be. It will not make sense to sell gold. Sorry, not gold. Bitcoin, because for ages it has been flying, going up. So why would you be looking for sell level, for supply level? But I'm doing this part of the supply zone for what? For the purpose of education, for you to understand what is going on in the market. If supply level or supply zone is created, you know what's happening. If the demand level is created, you know what's going to happen. But from this on, I'll only be talking about demand level. If I talk about supply level, it's only for educational purpose, for you to understand, to know what's going on in the market, you know, to be able to decipher. It is only for educational purpose. I'll be talking about supply level. So let's continue. So the market is what? Going down. Then suddenly it started what? Going up. So it's coming up. Then it holds. You know, it holds. When I say it holds, remember I said this zigzag. That's what I'm talking about. It hold. So which that zigzag obviously represent what? Our one of supply candles, which I said we can call it a pin bar. Let's use pin bar this time around. Like I said, it can be one of these three candles. It can be one of these, pin bar, engulfing, or tweezers. So let's draw a pin bar, which, yes, it represents what? Our supply level. I think it doesn't matter how the wick is. Remember, this was just for illustration purpose. That's all. So you draw your box, your zone box. Oh, let me turn it back to more transparent. You know, this is just for educational purpose. When we go into the real market, everything will make sense. So you see, it what create our what supply zone. So when it creates this supply zone, it's not the moment it creates a supply zone, oh, sell. No, you have to what? Wait for it to drop down and come back to that same level, then what? Boom, sell. It will drop. So but this is how supply and demand works in illustration form and theoretically. Like I said, we go into the real market. When you go there, a lot of things will make sense. It will make a lot of sense. So let me go on and give another example on demand. On demand, like I said, we are mostly heavily going to use most of demand in crypto market. Don't ever look for sell. But if you are going to do it, at least I have included the supply theory part. So let's say the market is going up, and then what? Suddenly it came down. What? Forming what? forming our demand pattern. Let's say this time around it created what? A tweezers, same height, same body. Then it what? Went up. Let's say it went up, come back to retest that demand zone, which, yes, let's put this box, our zone box, demand zone box. Let's demand zone, because most of the time if you look at my analysis, you will see a lot of these box are some areas. So this is what it meant. So when it came to that level, boom, it will go up, breaking this previous height. So when it did that, then it will come back to test this level, creating what? A new demand level. Let's this time around use what? Pin bar. Let's use pin bar. These are what? Demand zone. You see, and then it would go up maybe higher, and then come back to this level, and then up. So when you carefully analyze the market, look at the market from an objective point of view, this is what you will see happening in the market. So I hope with this video, you guys grasp the actual concept of how supply and demand work. You know, I'm not saying that supply and demand will not be available in the market. No, it's going to happen. That's what is always happening in the market. That's why the battle is. You know, let me give you another example here with supply level at this supply zone in the present in the market, with our example of demand and supply in the market. I think most people will appreciate that. This is what? Our supply. No, this time around it's not what? Demand, it's supply. Supply zone. So let's have a scenario where it breaks, comes down, then it went up, test displaced our supply zone, then what? Boom, it came down to what? Demand zone. Then from demand zone, it could go up again, or it will what? Comes down to the final demand level before what? Going down, before going up. So you see, this is what I'm talking about. So this video, like I said, supply and demand 2.0 is more detailed, more explained on the illustration of how supply and demand works. But from now on, I will heavily talk much more on demand zones. That's what I will be talking about. I hope you enjoyed this video as much I enjoy making it. Let's meet in the next video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.